Hello and welcome to my channel. You are not going to see a completed junk journal as of yet unless I can get this done in 2 days, which is probably not going to happen because it takes me so long to make a journal. But what I found stuff that I've started to make and haven't finished. So this is going to be gathering everything together and then making a final journal. So for instance, I had started it, you can see right here, that's just a cereal box for the chipboard, and then there's the inside, and then I had the back cover. I thought, well, these are really pretty. Maybe I should finish the junk journal with this. So I had done a collage with some sheet music, and then I decided, let me add some napkins. Inside I had painted with some acrylic paint, so this is going to serve as one of my signatures. There's another one where I used the sheet music collage and then I just put a napkin. Just looks so pretty. And then here's the inside. You can see some paint scratched off, but that's okay because it's all about being perfectly imperfect. And then I had these signatures. I must have had too many signatures and it didn't fit. This one, you can see that beautiful leaf. So this was an echo die. And then I added some stamps. And then inside I had a little pocket. For this little tuck, I'm not sure where this is from, but it says belief in yourself, and I thought that was cute. And then I added a stamp right there and a tag. And then on this side you can see some of the leaf patterns. And then here, just a place to journal. Cute little stamps there. And for this signature page, right here, this is the fray from material. So I just tucked it behind this, and then you open this up and there's a flap. Okay, it's just one flap. You open it up this way, a place to journal on this side. I mention this frequently. Whenever you do the echo die with some leaves, when you draw lines across, and even though as you journal the memory there, you can still see the leaf pattern. So that's what I did for that side. And then here's some velvet that my cousin gave me from California. And then here's another little flip on this side. So next signature page, I did another napkin on top. You can see I need some work in there. And then I did a different napkin. Look at how cool that is with this napkin. It had that little shimmer in it. I just love that. So I have a lot of these napkins, so maybe I'll do this technique for another book. And this is the final signature with a different napkin. So I think there's a total of 5 signatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 6. So now I'm going to add to them. I just wanted to share with you how I gather everything to make one of my junk journals. Really worked on getting this done for my Friday video, so I'm glad I did. I'm really happy how it came out. So let me go through this really quickly. I added some bling on the spine. I've had this frog forever and I'm so happy that I can finally use them. And then the front cover is very simple. You can see right here it says Sweet Home. Using a lot of my aluminum and can die cuts, so you can see that dragonfly. I just had this bling and then just some burlap and then some scrapbook paper. So this scrapbook paper is the same that I used for the spine. So let's go ahead and do a flip through. And then I noticed that the cover was longer than the signature pages, so I alternated them. So right here you can see that this is a little higher, this one's a little bit lower. And I did it with all 6 signatures, so it came out really nice and organized. So let's go ahead and do a flip through. I had this extra scrapbook paper and it had the holes in it already punched out from a different project, so I just added some string there, and then you open it up. And then when you open it up, you just have places to add photos. For the inside pages of these signature groups, I just added all that extra swag I've had laying around and made it really fun. You may remember this piece right here. This was junk mail, and I used canvas that I had left over from my acrylic pours. Added a napkin here and then just some ribbon on the side. And then the pull out, nice and large, places to add photos front and back. Napkins. So even though I did a layout, I try to keep some of that beautiful napkins showing one place or another. And I love those butterflies, so I just did a layering look so that way you can still see the butterflies. I don't know if a lot of you are like me, that you just have piles of extra scrapbook material or scraps from a different book. So that's what I did here to put this together. I did add some stuff, like I added this stamp here, but I was so happy that I can use so much of the stuff that I just had laying around. I also added a little mini journal here. I sewed it, and I added about 3 pages, so then that way you can still have a place to journal your memories. And then this is a negative. This beautiful paper, I just did a flip up because I just love that pattern. These next 2 signatures that I put in this junk journal, they were already pretty much pre-made, and they came from a junk journal that was just too fat, so I had to take some signatures out. I always like to add the fray from material. I just like the way it looks. It's part of being a junk journal, and it's very creative. When you open this up, just a simple layout. Same thing for the inside. Everything was already laid out on this one. Here was already completed. There's another beautiful leaf. I just love that. This side was already completed. I already had a tag for it, and I already had this little tuck. When I added these stamps, I just glued the pages together, and I didn't want it to be perfect. I wanted them to be staggered. So great places to add memories and then put the date. This page right here was already completed, but isn't that so pretty? Look at that cool leaf pattern. And for this page, I added some more writing pages to journal some memories, and I just love those stamps. And then this is just one of my doodles. I just glued it here to make it a little tuck. And then this is another mini journal with some pages in the middle to write. I think there's only 3 of them. This is another group of signatures that I have. Sometimes when I make the signature pages ahead of time before I do any binding, I have some extras because it gets too fat. And what I did for this one here, I just got some scrapbook paper, I scored it, and I glued it here and then the opposite page, so it just turns very easily. And then here's a cute little envelope with a little tag. Another place to journal. I just finished some wine cork birdhouses, and I had some extra material, so I added it right there. And then you just have a little flip to add some photos. And then here's another flip upwards, just because I like this pattern and I hate to cover it with anything. So. And then here's just 2 waterfalls. And I really like the way this came out with this napkin. So you can see the sheet music collage behind, and this napkin, it just has this really pretty glimmer to it. I'm just going to do a bunch of pages on my next journal with just this napkin. I just really like the way it looks. And then here's a little tuck with a tag. And then here's another signature page that came from this group. So it was already pre-made, and when you turn it, you just have a really cool layout. And then this is the other piece of junk mail that I covered with canvas from my acrylic pours. And the same napkin, but I just put it a different direction. And then for this tag, I just did a really cute layout to add photos. And this is the last page. I am using more of my aluminum can die cuts. I really like this layout. This is a negative, this is a negative, this is a negative, and I just like the way it looks when you layer it. So just something new that I'm doing. On the back, I did add this piece of scrapbook paper, so this is still a work in progress. I thought about putting the end, or maybe just a saying about this is the end of this journal, but there's many more to follow. As always, I greatly appreciate that you visited my channel. Thank you to my current subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, I would ask that you join my channel. I am working on growing my subscribers. So I ask that you hit the little like button above if you definitely like this video. And there's also a bell on the upper left-hand side. If you click on that bell, every time I have a new video, you will be notified. And as always, I greatly appreciate when you add any comments. I really love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.